Welcome to our dedicated agents and investors from across the country. Today is Thursday, September 4th, 2025, and this is All The Leads Mastermind podcast number 544. Today is another open forum. The call's about you, so whatever you guys want to talk about, that's the direction we'll head in. We're always looking for wins, success stories, things that are working on any of your lead types or in your business. And we need you to raise your hand. You know how to do that at the bottom of the screen there. Just hit that little heart button and hit raise hand, and then we will call on you. I think it looks like all the coaches are here so far, with the exception of Bruce, and I believe he is coming. So, Tim, what do you got to say for yourself?
Well, I will just say this. Both Jim and I are a bit under the weather today. I'm only here to kind of get us started, and I'm going to probably drop off the call today. We had originally talked about talking a little bit about team building today, and we decided to punt that till we're all in a little bit better shape. So we made sure that the coaches would be here today, and this is a straight up open forum. We definitely want to hear from you. The main thing I would say to you is let's make sure that you raise your hand before 5 minutes until the end of the hour so that we can get to everybody, because typically that's what we end up with. We do a last pass and we get 3 people with their hand up. So please help us build this call and share your good news, bad news, tough times, questions, role play, anything that you want to do. This is your call. Whether you want to talk about probate, pre-probate, divorce, any of the products that we sell, late mortgage, expireds, anything like that, please, let's talk about them here. And we're here to help you. We've got some of the best minds in the business and the most experienced people. We're able to help you do anything you want to go do, but we got to know what you need. So with that, I'm going to throw it open to the floor, and I'm going to ask that the coaches kind of take the lead here today and unmute themselves, and they can yell at each other. And I'm gonna call it a day, guys. I'm not doing well. So I'm
going to feel better. Feel better. And Toby's got his hand up already. Thank you, Toby. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, let's wish Tim a happy birthday. It was his birthday yesterday. He got sick for that birthday. So let's all wish him a great birthday before he takes off.
Is that what they call it now? Getting sick on your birthday? You're out partying and you feel bad the next day? Is that what's going on here?
That was what it was. My wife turned up with COVID, and she's not doing well. She's doing better than I am now. She's fine. She's made from better stock, I think. But I don't think I have COVID. I just don't feel well. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Please make it a good call. Talk to you later. Thanks, Toby.
Hey, Bill, when we were talking pre-call there, you had a topic you were going to throw out. If you want to start with that. And then please, guys, raise your hands. Let us know how we can help you. Last call, we were about to call it at 30 minutes, and then we had 4 or 5 people participate, and we took it all the way to the end. So we won't hang around if we don't have participation. We want to know what you guys want, and could use some help with. But go ahead, Bill. You had an interesting topic that might be worth discussing. I wish Bruce was here. Does not look like he is here yet, but go ahead and throw that out, what you were talking about, please.
So I always curious, when you get your leads, besides open your leads, what are your first 3 plays, right? Do you call them? Do you put them in your CRM? And or do you mail them? Do you evaluate the property first? What do you do to make it? And where does that kick off where you're going with that lead, right? So for me, the first thing I do is I look at the leads and I make sure I like the properties, right? At this stage of my career, I am not taking mobile homes. I'm not taking certain properties, right? So the second ththing I do is I call them right then and there. I just call them right then and there. Right after I look at the property, I call them, right? And most of the time I don't leave a voicemail. But sometimes if the voicemail is kind, I'll go ahead and leave a message and they'll call me back, right? And then the third thing, I put it in my database, which automatically triggers the rest of my marketing that I do, which is HomeBot, mailers, etc. And I think when I talk to my students, they just don't have a concrete, I call it the first 6 plays, but they just don't have that concrete rhythm, consistency to make it happen. And there's no right or wrong way to do it. You just need to have it and see if it works for you. If not, change it.
Interesting with the advent of the football season tonight. I know that talk about the first 6 plays. I know the coaches generally will have at least the first series of downs planned, and they'll usually have a basic game plan for the first half. But then they go into the locker room and they see what's working, what isn't, and they make adjustments. So no, that Bill, you mentioned something. You said, because we have different. Some people have different opinions on screen or don't screen, determine the properties. And it does make sense. If you can verify that the property is a mobile home, it's a co-op, it's something you just don't want, I understand skipping it. What do you do if you cannot, are you only getting Property Plus? Are you getting all the ones that have properties, or do you have properties? Do you have leads that you're not sure where the property is, or if there is one?
So I use Property Plus, that's for sure. And
Okay.
then, but I've been doing this a long time. I know the areas. I know San Francisco, Marin, Sonoma really well. I can tell the street is a mobile home park. I can tell that's a condo that is only got one owner occupied unit in the whole complex, right? I mean, it just happens. But when I first started, I called them all. I called them all because it was worth it. I got many deals. I mean, I wouldn't call this a win, but it's a really interesting thing. So I got this lead via probate. I called the gentleman, left a phone number. It turned out to be the attorney. And he said, we've already sold out all cash. I'm, oh, that's great. Fantastic. And then I just asked him, so how's your day going? What do it's kind of frog, if you guys know what frog is, that's how's your family, recreation, uh, occupation. I forget what the G is, but anyway, the thing that I'm saying is he just started talking to me, and he owns this gorgeous piece of property in downtown San Anselmo. It consists of 3 apartments, which he lives in one, 2 commercials, a barn, and a 3-car garage that he's decked out, and he doesn't know what it's worth. And so I went ahead and put a little bit of time in to tell him what it was worth. I sent him a really brief CMA on a spreadsheet. And believe it or not, man, he calls me, he says he wants to meet with me. So it's just amazing how all the opportunities, if you're open-minded and you want to be of service, it all comes back to you. The other thing I just want to say, I've said this many times, is that when you do your first steps in when you get your leads, opportunities open up. I have had many times where I did not get the home because someone didn't like me. But another inheritor liked me, and then they send their kids to me to go look for a home, or they sell their home with me, right? So, just look at probate as that's the only transaction you're going to get, or divorce, right? Or anything. It's just not the right mindset going into it. I'm sure Bruce would say the same thing, and I'm sure
Absolutely. And by the way,
Irene said the same thing.
Dean volunteered that the G is goals.
Goals.
Goals. So Property Plus is worth it, guys. If you're not getting it, really is, because it does all that work for you. And we've had people that don't use Property Plus that will over verify it. They'll decide there's no property there, and then they find out later on that there is. So,
well, I just want to say, with the new California tax law, Prop 19, where if someone died, so your parents die, and if you are not owner occupying that property, that one property, they will reassess the value right away. You will get a supplemental tax bill the day your parent died, right?
wow.
People are putting them in LLCs now, or corporations, 1120Ss. So people are inheriting the stock, not changing title to the property. So I would just call. Bottom line is I would call.
I agree. And then, Bill, you call before you mail, right?
I do. I call right away. I do the same thing with divorce. I do with it all because you don't know exactly how long this has been going on, right? It's just just because they file the docket doesn't mean they haven't been dead for a couple of months, right?
Right. And you can eliminate some people that you don't want to mail to after talking to them, that they're just,
Yeah, exactly,
there isn't
exactly.
anything there. I can't tell you over the years how many people we have had tell us that they called and the heir said, or the executor said, oh, that property's already sold. And they believed them or they verified that it was sold, but then they got in a conversation with the person. Well, oh, that's great. You just sold that $500,000 house. Is there anything else I can help you with? And people have said, yeah, I'm gonna, it's a major windfall. I want to sell the house I'm living in. I want to buy another one. Just because that one property is sold doesn't mean that there aren't other opportunities there. You're talking to someone who, on average, just inherited several $100,000. In California, could be several million. So, don't overscreen them, but have those conversations. And if the people trust you, they'll volunteer. And
And
Joe
then,
will get to you.
and,
Bill, go ahead,
and
Joe.
then,
Bill.
and then the last thing I just want to say in the last 12 months with probate and divorce, I've gotten a lot of mileage out of finishing the conversation and then sending an unbranded card. By unbranded, it doesn't have my company logo on it. I send them a card with thank you for taking the time to speak with me. I really enjoyed it. And then if there's something I can compliment them on, I do that. And then I just sign my name, right? And then up in the upright corner, I write my name, my email, my phone number. And I've gotten a good traction with that.
Perfect. And Joe, you've been patient. Melinda, you made a comment there that I'd love for you to share with everybody live what you do with sending the video out. I think that's a good idea if you don't mind raising your hand. But Joe, go ahead and unmute yourself, please. You're next.
Yes, Bill, two things you had said. What was that thing because I got my first leads, okay? And because when you get the leads, it doesn't have the address of the property. You were saying, get what? To know the
Well,
address?
so there's Property Plus, which is sometimes it'll pull up stuff that it doesn't show a property. And then the other thing that I look for is sometimes the property's in trust, it didn't show for some reason, or it's in a LLC. And really the only way you're going to find that out is by a phone call. So, and that has happened in California. I'm surprised how much it's catching on right now.
And Joe, it's an extra filter we can put your leads through. If you want to ask your MIS or your salesperson about it, they can give you details on your county. But it's pretty much available everywhere. It's just an extra filtering process. We have something else too that we haven't talked about on this call that we started doing for our subscribers that have been with us a long time. We can take all your old leads and refresh them. We can take every lead you haven't eliminated, run it through two filters, and then just give you back the properties that the executors that have properties that have not been listed or sold. So that's a big time saver on the older leads. But I would start with the Property Plus. Ask your salesperson, and they'll give you those details. And Bruce, welcome. We missed you, buddy.
Oh, wait, one more question. I'm sorry. So, Bill, I'm trying, if I understood you right, you said after you talk to somebody, sometimes you'll send out like another card and it doesn't have your like brokerage on it or something. It's just
Right.
a card.
So I call it an unbranded card. It's just mine have some redwood trees, which is my area. And I just say, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with me. I really enjoyed the call. If there's something I can cut them on or something like that, and I send it to them. And I don't go PS if you ever need anything in real estate, please. I just leave it on a very friendly note. And I've gotten very good traction on that. People remember when I call back.
Okay. Thank you. So you don't even put a business card in there or anything, right?
No, I do put a business card in. I didn't say that, but I also on the upper left-hand corner write my name. I write my phone number, email address, and I am California, so I put my license number in there.
Yeah. Okay. That was my next question. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Melinda, you had a great idea there. You chatted, so thank you for volunteering. Go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
So, I use Dub and make videos. I've done that for, like introducing, like I'll give someone make a phone call to somebody or, texted them and got some response and I have their email. So I have made one video that's just like, hey, there's a real person who you spoke with. So that I send to other people. But I started doing for the probate ones, I have the letter campaign set up. So about 7 days after that is sent, because you get notified when it's sent, and all the ones that I have an email. So I made a video. It says, my name, I'm a probate specialist. I said, you received a letter from me recently. I'm just trying to think of what I said in it. And, I'm here to help and some brief points of what I can help them with, not going into a lot of detail and, look forward to hearing from you soon. So with Dub, if you put their email in, you can actually see who has opened the video and how much time they've watched. And pretty much everyone I send it to, within a day or two, they have viewed it. Now, some people I've called and they're usually like, hey, I don't need any help, or, I have, the usual, I have an attorney handling things. I've had some who have already sold the property. You get some of that response, or typically I get I don't need any help. So I've only been doing this for like a few months. So, and then I've just added on, trying to remember, like a 6-month letter. So I now put that in. So they get 2 or 3 letter campaign I have set up. That was kind of, I've read through them all. And then the 6-month. But with an email, I do send this video. And like I said, I've sent it to other, leads and things that aren't through this program. But the good thing is you can see if somebody viewed it, and you can call back and just say, I just want to follow up if you had any questions. Usually, again, they still say they don't have any questions, but.
Melinda, I'll ask Bruce maybe to handle some of those objections with you, but I just want to say the 6-month letter, I have preached this so many times. I think that should be automatic. If you're going to send out one letter a month for 3 months, send a 6-month, send a 12-month letter. And the beauty of it is if you are working the CRM and you're eliminating the leads that are not viable, by the time the 6 months comes by, you're not going to have that many letters that go out. And after 6 months, if they haven't done something, they're going to be ready, and you're going to have very little competition. So I think everybody should just make that an automatic part of their program to send out a 6-month, possibly even a 12-month. Go ahead.
So the other, I have used that Property Plus on everyone. Like, well, actually, I've gone through first, and if I see I don't know what the other guy's name that was just speaking, Bill, knowing areas that, like, I know that's an apartment building or it's an assisted living place, because you'll look at their address. I'm like, okay, that's not a house. And so I eliminate those. So when I do the Property Plus, it's not pulling, wasting money. I then go through and I put notes in of, if I can call them, if there's an email. So when I'm searching who I want to send, I can quickly go in and go, okay, these are the ones I have emails, and just go through those versus 50. I only do about 50 come in. I'm just started. But I do have a question. I started this because I wanted to see how this all works. I'm planning to I have a house in Florida, and it's in Polk County, which is like the number one. They have the most probate in the area. So I'm trying to kind of fine tune this, and then next fall, probably I'll be basically starting in a whole new place. And I figured I'll start with probate and reaching out to, we don't have title companies in Connecticut. We work with attorneys, but title companies there because when I closed on my house, I mentioned probate, and they're like, we wish we had agents who did probate because these families or whoever come in and they don't know what they're doing and it makes it difficult. So they would love to recommend an agent. So just FYI for people. An agent or a paralegal that I know who I work with, she does probate, works for probate attorneys. So I specifically asked her, like, how do I get my information to the attorney? Like that I'm doing this probate, because I'm going to do the class for, what's it called? Anyway, something with reaching out to attorneys. And she basically said, you send it, but it's going to be the paralegal who's going to review it. Keep it short. If you're going to send a letter, just keep it short and then just the key points. But like calling them or dropping in, she's like, forget it. You're not going to see them right then, usually. So I use Mailbox Power and I send right now, like my clients, I do their birthday and I've been sending 2 brownies. Everyone is calling me back, thanking me, right? So today I was driving, I'm like, ooh, I might use that for the attorneys. I send a card, information inside, and 2 brownies. They're going to open it. Like, there's no way you're not opening a package because it's going to come in a little package with the card. And so I was like, I'll spend that money for that. It's not a ton of money, but just to get them to see it. And I think it would be something different that they don't get from other agents. Trying to be different.
Melinda, where have you been? This is the first time I've heard you speak on the call, and you are doing so many things well, and so many good things. Congratulations.
I'm on quite a few. Actually, I was a few minutes late. I had been doing something. I got to get on at 1. A lot of times I don't have the video up. I just listen because, again, I'm new. I do watch some, like Bruce. I don't know if which day it is, but you'll go into how to handle objections. I don't know if those are recorded. And if they are, where do I find them? Because you got this off the top of your head, like blah, blah, and I'm trying to take notes. And I'm like, oh my God. And not that I want to repeat what you say exactly, but it's to have that idea. And you'll say, oh, say this, you could do this. I'm like, oh my God, I got to hear this a second time. So I wasn't sure if those calls when you've been kind of the main person training is somewhere.
Yeah.
Like it says these are recorded. So I'm like, where do I find them?
So they are recorded. They are recorded separate companies, separate platforms. So I have such a good relationship with All The Leads that I'm here almost every Thursday. And every now and then it creates a little bit of confusion. Bruce, you led a training. Where is it? It's going to be on Probate Mastery. So if you go to YouTube and look at Probate Mastery, all of the coaching calls that I've ever done are over on there, unless I'm doing it with All The Leads, and then it's going to be on the All The Leads YouTube channel.
Thanks.
A really good question. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Let me make sure that I'm allowed to. I am allowed to. Okay, perfect. Anyone watching or listening after the fact, forgive me. So I'm sharing my screen and I'll walk through if you're listening and not watching where you can do this. So if you go to alltheleads.com, we literally just set these training pages up within the last week. So alltheleads.com, you generally log in, you start on your dashboard. If you go to training and resources over on the left-hand side of your page, and then go down to training courses / seminars, click on this. One of the new trainings is handling common objections, which I'm actually going to address really quick right now. But there's another little mini training, and these are all just bite-sized trainings. They're 10 minutes, 12 minutes. I think the longest one is 18 minutes. They're pretty quick and easy to get through. One is understanding probate timelines for those of you that just don't really know what a probate timeline looks like in general. There's a training on probate timelines. There's a training on common objections, a training on kind of mail concepts, so how to conceptualize your mailing campaign. Um, I don't see it. There's a training on closing 2 probate deals every single month. And then there's another one. I don't know where the other 2 are, but we just put these 3 small ones in here into the training page. And then Melinda, what you kind of touched on was probate mastery. That's the certification course. And I want to tell everyone, I love people coming to me and buying it. If you come to me and buy it, you're gonna pay more than if you go to All The Leads and buy it. So All The Leads has a price that's better if you're taking Probate Mastery or Earn, which is Earn Attorney Referrals Now. That's what Melinda was talking about. Those are the 2 paid courses. Everything else that I put in here is free. So all
I
these
did,
other,
I did see that, and I was like, register now, and I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna have to like register for some webinar time, and I had a lot going on. But I'm looking at it right now, so I see it's just an online course.
yeah, they're all on demand.
Yeah,
All on
great.
demand. Take when you want, as many times as you want. And there's a couple of others that are, oh, there's how to close 2 probate deals every month. So to close 2 probate deals every month is in here as well. I feel like there's a 5th. Maybe there's not. Maybe I just gave 4 trainings. There's just a boatload of good ones. Now, objections. I've got it all handled. Our attorney's handling everything. Um, I want to either attack the objection that I think they're going to give me before they've vocalized it. So just go straight at it, or I want to completely avoid it and not even allow it to enter the conversation. One of those 2. Once it's vocalized as an objection, once it's vocalized as an objection, it takes a lot more skill to maneuver around that. It's difficult when people, if somebody vocalizes an objection to me, I normally just go ahead and embrace it. I'm like, oh, okay, so you guys probably really don't need anything at this point. It's like I'm just embracing the objection because the last thing that I need to do is start arguing with them. And even if I'm not arguing with them, they think I am. So if they vocalize an objection, I just go ahead and accept it and act like they're right. I can deal with it later. But I really want to either bring it up on my terms or avoid it altogether. So after I present what I called for, I help people navigating the probate process, maybe with specifically with regard to real estate needs. So that would be an example of one USP or one elevator pitch that I deliver. I help people navigate the probate process specifically with regards to any real estate needs. Um, Another one would be, I help provide resources and guidance for people through the probate and the estate administration process. And I don't want to bore you with a bunch of details. That would be another example of kind of my elevator pitch. If I want to avoid the objection, say we've got it all handled or our attorney's handling everything, I just ask a question that has nothing to do with whether they need help. My question might be, did you guys just start probate in the last couple of weeks, or did you start a couple of months ago? If I say that, they can't say, my attorney's handling everything, because my question has nothing to do with whether they need help. It's asking when they started, which, by the way, I already know. I see it on the file. So suddenly our conversation is on my terms. We're not talking about, it's not on their terms. Can't really bring an objection up. Um, if I wanted to actually attack the objection and bring it up on my terms, I would say, I help people with resources and guidance through like a probate and estate administration process. And I don't want to just bore you with a bunch of details. Can I ask, did you guys hire an attorney at this point, or are you handling probate independently?
Are you asking that if because on all the leads you see if they have an attorney?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then they'll whatever say. Uh, I was gonna make a spreadsheet of all the attorneys that I'm seeing and reach out, send a card to all of them. I just looked, I have a giant like a paper thing, so I write notes. So one of my ideas for making videos to send to people was, a lot of people in probate, they need a CMA,
Mhm.
for probate, offering that. Um, uh, the other one was because you guys offer that program where, say there's equity and they can pull some to like hire an attorney or other things. That was something, is that a company? It's separate from all the leads. Like I have seen it, but I wasn't sure how to kind of use that information, like to offer it. But then I'm like, how do I actually get them in contact with them?
Want me to take that, Bruce, or you
Yeah,
got it?
go take it.
Yeah, it's on our website there. It's called Probate Cash. All you do is just fill out the seller information. Probate Cash will contact them,
Is that
explain everything, make the loan, and you actually get a commission
is
out of
that in the train? I'm looking for it.
Jody, do you know where that? Jody might know. Do you know where that's at on our website?
I will find out momentarily.
Yeah, I have, okay, I have found it, but it's like one of those things you see it and then I'm like, how did I get to it?
They're really good though. Really, all you do is just fill in the contact information for the people and ask a few questions, and they'll contact them and take care of everything. And you get, I think it starts at $300 or $400, and you can get a much bigger commission also. And it's something that nobody else offers. Talk about distinguishing yourself from the rest of the pack. If there's any reason they need cash, it just has to be, they have to be named in the will. They just have to be able to show through the probate attorney that they're going to receive proceeds.
Right.
And they'll have the money in a couple days.
Is anybody doing like, and I'm not sure if you've gone over, I'm sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions.
Oh, you're great.
On like doing YouTube with this information, like doing a video of not giving all the answers, but kind of you putting it out there and, do the call to action, to have them reach you to how to find out more about like that program or different things. Is there someone, I mean, I could look up probate. The other thing, I think it was in one of these classes, that someone mentioned someone's done a video on how to fill out the paperwork. Like, so again, I spoke to my probate, I've talked to an attorney and probate paralegal, and it's like, is there like some forms that are pretty common? And like, well, every probate's different. So it's kind of, I'm like, isn't there one form that everyone has to fill out in Connecticut? And then again, they've told me also probate in Florida is going to be different. So I do know an attorney's office down there that has a probate attorney. So when I go down, I'm going to try to, reach out to that paralegal. They're the ones that know everything.
Melinda, Jody just posted in the comments.
I saw it. Yep.
Okay, good. Let's make sure you saw that. Perfect.
Go ahead.
The YouTube channels. So some folks that are doing really good job with YouTube videos that are explaining pieces of the process are Courtney Rollins. So Courtney, Courtney, Rollins, Rollins. His channel is Life in Transitions Experts. He's got some good YouTube content, probate content up, and then Dwight Morris. So Dwight Morris has in Northern Virginia has some really good probate content up explaining the process. So they're two people that I know are doing a good job. Reen Kasulker as well, ReinEKassulker has a good YouTube channel for probate, and there's plenty of others. If you're on here and I skipped over you, it wasn't intentional, and if you got a good channel. They're doing a great job. And every state's going to be a little bit different, but there's absolutely common forms that you're going to run into that most families use. And then there's some less common forms. So go on your county's website and go to apply for probate. Most people can get all the forms by just Googling into the county's website and probate, and you'll see a whole list of forms. And I would just familiarize yourself with as many as possible.
Hey, Melinda, while we're still on the probate cash topic, several times they have done a promotion. They're getting ready to do it for us again, that they will print coupons for you to drop in your mail. And they actually, I believe they slightly subsidize the cost of the mail if you include those coupons. They're getting ready. Tim was talking to them. They're getting ready to do that in the next month or so. So keep an eye out for that.
Who's
for probate
that?
cash.
Oh, okay, for that. Okay, thank
Probate
you.
cash, yeah. They will help you with your mailings if you want to drop a probate cash coupon in with your regular mailing, kind of stand out and get people's attention that way. Bruce, she covered so many things. Is there unanswered questions there, or Belinda, is there anything else that we didn't answer that we can help you with?
Not yet.
And Katie's got her hand up. It's funny when you were talking, Bruce, about avoiding the objection. When I was coaching in my real estate days, they used to say the best way to handle an objection is to make sure it never comes up, is to answer it before it comes up is even better. And I was always a big fan, and Bruce, I think you are to some lesser extent, but I love you don't want to get confrontational. Once they throw the objection out, you're defensive no matter what you do. Somewhat. But if you can tell they're just about to hang up, and I've got it handled, thank you, goodbye, say, oh, great. So your attorney's already switched your insurance? And just shut up. No, what are you talking about? And do you know what I'm talking about, Melinda?
Yeah, one other thing, I had the checklist. So I got some sent to me. I bought some print, and I'm trying to think of how I mean, I can easily just mail them, but what kind of letter would you send with that and have it be, besides just what you send, is that an additional, I'm looking at sending one letter handwritten, on the envelope from me with the checklist and just a short, maybe note inside. I could also put a QR code. So a lot of people don't want to read. They can watch a quick video of what the checklist is for. And I was going to do it also for like which I haven't built my YouTube channel yet, just because I'm just starting to get better about being on camera. And so that was the only thing I wasn't sure the best way to add that in, or just send it and just offer, here's a checklist to help you through the process of probate, something of that nature.
Somebody take that, please. Because I missed a small piece. I was downloading a video at the same time, and I was running into a glitch, so I missed a part of what you asked. So if
Just
somebody
that-
else wants to take it, or if you
Just-
re-ask your question, I apologize. I was being a bad listener.
That's okay. I have the checklist from All The Leads, and I'm just thinking about a way to, what kind of letter to put in it that's, not too long, just explaining or just saying, hey, I wanted to share this with you. Because again, like if they've already received one letter.
So what I say is, I have found that this has been useful for my other probate or trust, whatever is relevant on the property. And that's short, and it seems to go over pretty well.
Absolutely. So if it's coming after the fact, hey, I wrote you a few weeks ago. You mentioned this, or maybe you didn't mention this. It depends if it's warm or cold. I thought I'd reach out again. I know life's probably busy right now, so no problem if we haven't spoken. I wanted to include this free resource that I give a lot of my clients that they find helpful as they navigate probate. So really comparable to what Bill just said. If you need anything, here's where to reach me. And then probably put a stronger call to action on there, but that's a decent call to action.
Hey, Melinda, one other thing, and Katie, you're coming up next, I promise. I love your video. I don't think enough people use that. And I know over the years we've had our subscribers tell us they've had good success. Like if you ever you're searching for insurance and then 5 minutes later you'll see good news for homeowners in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, their insurance rates are down. We've had some of our subscribers stand in front of the courthouse where the probates and interview themselves or talk with the courthouse in the background. Because people, if the executor's been down there, if they're aware, of what the building looks like, it gets your attention right away. Just just something you may want to try in one of your videos. I know we've gotten good feedback on that. Bruce, is there anything we didn't answer before I move on to Katie?
I could talk all day long if I pulled out everything that she mentioned. No.
All right. Well, stand by, Katie. Great. Thank you very much. Great participation. Great questions. Katie, would you go ahead and unmute yourself, please?
Yeah, I actually called as an investor on a property that I found, and the description said that they were looking for a cash buyer. And as I got in touch with the listing agent, it turns out that it was a probate property, and they were given 10 days notice before it was going to be sold on the courthouse steps. So I've been going back and forth with the listing agent. They had an offer at 275. It's listed at 300. And the powers that be turned down the 275 offer because it wouldn't pay enough expenses or whatnot. So I'm wondering, the listing agent said the probate attorney reached out to the attorney for foreclosure, and who just basically said it's going to be sold on the courthouse steps. So I'm just wondering if there's anything that could be done. And I said, are the heirs, do you have the personal representative, one of the kids? And yes, that's the case. And so I just didn't know if there was anything that could be done at this point, or if it's a lost cause.
Katie, is there equity there? Do they owe more than it's worth?
They do owe a little bit more than it's worth.
Okay.
So I didn't know if it would be a short sale opportunity, or if, the estate had enough in there to pay for the shortfall for an offer that came in under asking. I'm not sure.
Go ahead, Bruce.
I don't see that they have motivation to do anything unless potentially you were to write an offer where you cut them in on the increase in value that you add to the estate. So you could go and say, hey, my offer, no, because then you're still dealing with the powers that be. Do you have any idea who the investor is that owns the loan?
It's an FHA loan. It was odd because the FHA, a second loan was taken out last year in September, and the amount was put the total loan amount over the value of the property. So that was kind of confusing to me.
The lender or the investor, I don't see generally that they have a whole lot in a case like this, that they have a whole lot of incentive to cooperate with any kind of short sale or anything. They might, but if it's FHA insured, then they may not be made whole, but they have that backing to where they're really they can sell it at the courthouse steps for less than they're able to sell it for now, and kind of get the FHA money to make them whole to a degree. And it may not, I don't know if it makes them completely whole, but that seems to be what they've determined. There are some investors that own loans, some who will actually negotiate a settlement, and you could cooperate, work with them through a lawyer and negotiate, send in a settlement agreement. And essentially what it is it's saying that the owner can pay them this lump sum amount, and they'll basically wipe the slate clean. So maybe $200,000. You can give me 200,000, wipe the slate clean, and then they can either come up with the money themselves, or you can buy it at that lower amount. It's really uncommon, and not many investors will do that. But I'd see if I could find out who the investor is. Being that there's a listing agent involved, I probably wouldn't. I'd wait for it.
I was going to say, you have a few strikes going against you. My wife has a short sale company. She's done a couple thousand of them. If you had spoken to them before the foreclosure date was scheduled, like months ahead of time, you may have been able to do something, but the other strike as an investor, short sales, I mean, you're lucky if you get a 10% discount. It's not going to be, it's not going to be a real fat deal for an investor on a short sale. And Bruce made another comment too. The heirs are not on the mortgage, so generally they don't have a huge incentive to cooperate. Now, having said that, I know my wife's done many where they just don't want grandma's house to be foreclosed. So, and it's pretty easy for the executors to do a short sale. They don't need financials or anything because, the person owing the mortgage is deceased. So, as a realtor, if you reached them earlier, it might make sense to do a short sale. But once the sale is scheduled and it's this imminent, it's going to be, you could get it stopped, but you'd need the seller's cooperation. And like Bruce said, I don't think they have much of an incentive to stop it.
And you need the listing agent too. The listing agent has to cooperate. They might too.
Yeah. Too many bars there to make it worth it. And even if you did, I don't think you're going to get a real big discount on it. I mean, unless you're satisfied with buying a $300,000 place for $275, short sales are not, they're not, they don't go at, 60, 70 cents on the dollar for the most part. Today they're somewhere around 90% on average, and every lender is different. That makes sense? Okay. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
Go ahead, please.
I said thank you.
Oh, sure. I thought that was Aline's voice. No? It sounded like
no.
Okay. All right, guys. Great participation today. I wouldn't say good, very good participation. Great questions. We got about 10 minutes. Any other questions, issues, anything you want to talk about today? Any wins of the week? I don't see David on here. He's always got to win it. There we go. VIP Wealth Investments. Go ahead and unmute yourself, please.
Hello there.
Hi. What's your first name?
Van, V-A-N. That the
Okay.
VIP stand for.
Hi,
my
Van.
initial.
Great.
I have a question that I have a client right now that her husband passed away. He took care of financial thing. The financial thing, they both name on it. The deed both name on it. She behind right now. At the last moment I saw in May was $50,000 behind. The house is about $350,000. She gave me the mortgage statement was 50 plus about 200 for the balance of the mortgage. The house was bought 8 years ago. Now she told me to go ahead and do it. I don't care. I come in the picture after the agent called the trustee foreclosure saying that, oh, her husband passed away, so you need to stop foreclosure and try to help her out with this. Same time that she told the trustee that I move out already, I don't care the house, I sell to these people. And now at this point, they still behind the scene. I tried to get trustee to talk to me, and they have not got back to me yet. She doesn't care about it anymore. She walked away, and she took $10,000 from the investor to buy a house, take over, and they don't even know how much totally she owed. If we're talking about the subject to take over the payment, it was before. And then they told the bank that she moved out. And now I try to backpedal and say, no, you stay here. You don't go anywhere. But how do you, for this scenario, they have been investigated for the next kin of the beneficiary. So that person called and say, hey, I want to make sure that now your husband passed away. At that point, I pretend I'm the wife. Do you have any children thing? Because now she told me, Van, I don't care what you do what you have to do, because anything you say, I go. But I want to talk to anybody. I don't want to deal with it.
Quick question was the title held in tenants of the entireties, or was it right of survivorship? Because if it was right of survivorship, you don't have to go through probate. Does it have to go through probate? Do you know?
I don't know if it's in the probate or not. I have
No.
no idea probate or not at this point because she still survived. She's the one. They don't have any will, any deed there, but she still survives. So I don't know if it go through the probate or not. No need to.
Probably not. And
Mhm.
and it does sound like there's significant equity. The one thing I didn't really understand, someone gave them $10,000 and walked away. Is that what you said? Okay, and so now
She took the money and she said, "Do what you have to do with the house. I don't care. Here the deed." She
who
signed the
gave them
deed
the
over
10,000?
already.
Was that you or was that another investor?
And my investor.
So
I
are
tried
they,
to help them with clean up paperwork for them.
go ahead, Bruce.
No, I was just asking, that was your investor?
Yes, my investor.
Okay. So your investor gave her $10,000.
Mhm.
She signed the deed over to your investor. Okay. But the mortgage is still in place.
Yes.
Deed probably didn't transfer with an attorney or title company, did it?
No, not yet. None of
Okay.
that yet. The plan was the investor. The plan was he keep paying the mortgage. That's what he planned. But then he called the bank and say he passed away. She moved out, and now it's a mess. And I tried to backpedal somehow to contain it. So I told him, I say, either you better fix it up and put on market quick and fast to sell it and to pay back to the mortgage. So in this case right here, do you think that would be the probate? No, I don't think it's probate involved in here.
Not likely. No,
Mm-mm.
probably not probate. Um, you're playing with a bomb. Playing with a bomb.
What, was there an attorney involved that handled this before the 10? Yeah.
None of
That's
that. Everything talking only.
Yeah, I mean, your investor has 10,000 to lose and 150,000 to gain. I think I would probably try to get an attorney involved. You know, if you've got to pay an attorney a few $1,000s, would you agree, Bruce? And try to
Yeah.
sort it out because it's already kind of out of hand. I don't think it's anything you're going to easily be able to sort out on your own.
What kind of the lawyer get into here? It's not the probate lawyer, it's a real estate lawyer.
Yeah. Yep. Real estate lawyer. Um, the issue is that you can't unring the bell that she told the trustee that she moved out. Now, the foreclosure, unless it's imminent, like days away, the foreclosure can be stopped. There's equity. Give show them that there's an offer on the table, or come up with the 50 plus $1,000 that are in arrears. If that $50,000 is paid off, foreclosure stops. So if you want to do this maybe without an attorney, stop the foreclosure by paying the arrears and then get current on mortgages. And if you want to structure a subject to deal after that, great.
Hey, Bruce,
Right.
the only reason I would go back to the attorney, though, if you're going to put another 50 on top of the 10,
Yeah.
you at least want a title company and an attorney to make sure you've got good title.
Sure.
Just because it was deeded over to you, it doesn't necessarily
we
mean
ran
that
the
you got good-
title is clear, it's fine. The title is clear. We done title already. I work
Okay.
also with the title company, so I know that one is fine.
Okay,
Only
good.
problem right now is now I can't even take care of the 50 grand because now they know that the husband passed away. So the whole promissory note, it must be on her name only. Do they change that one or no? Because say next step.
No,
The
because
promissory note, that's why.
she was on the deed. So if mortgage is in husband's name, wife is on the deed. The bank has that. So she's has probable right of survivorship. So she owns 100%. The banks can't say, "Hey, spouse, we're booting you off of this deed now." They can't
Okay.
just kick
All
her
right. Mhm.
out unless she doesn't pay the mortgage, which she hasn't been.
Mhm.
So the mortgage has to be caught up. Um, do get a real estate attorney. It's just a good idea. You've done title, so you've done that homework. Do get a real estate attorney. If you're structuring a subject to, just be hyper aware of the risks of subject to, especially now, that the trustee knows and theoretically the bank knows that she's not living in the house. So they might be a little bit wary that that you're doing a subject to, like who is this new trust now that owns this house? There could be some a spotlight shown on it right now that would cause them to dig in and do a little bit of research. But get a real estate attorney.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is the opposite of Katie's deal, where nobody had much to gain. Everybody's got something to lose and something to gain with this transaction. So, yeah,
To make it worse too, he put in another 20 grand to fix it up, the house, clean out the whole hoarder thing. And he think that they make money. And I say, you don't even know how much they owe yet at this point. They show you 3 months ago. It could be more right now.
Important question. Did you get paid yet?
No, of course not.
Okay, so you want to get paid too there.
A lot of time I do for free until the end. I know.
That's right. Joe, did you have something to comment about this deal? Joe's got his hand up.
Yes. Don't most mortgages have it where as soon as you transfer title, that bank can call it due right away?
Yeah, I know about that. I do mostly under the trust, family trust.
Yeah,
I had that call before. You do under the trust, and then you say that the trust is, but you don't show them the beneficiary transfer. That's all. It took another piece of paper, and the lawyer do that for you, and they're all legit. I did have my lawyer come on the phone with me, with the seller, with the trustee. Everybody come and talk with the mortgage, and we submit in the trust of the family trust, so we're good to go.
I've done many subject twos. I've never had them call it due. And in this case, it's going to get foreclosed way before the lender's going to call it due. So that's a more pressing issue. But it's a good point, Joe. You got to be careful if you're.
Yes,
and it
thank
sounds
you
like,
so much. I appreciate that. I will call my lawyer now.
All right, excellent. Well, that is perfect timing, guys. Another great call. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. I want to thank Steve, Bill, Toby, Joe, Melinda, Dean, Bruce, Katie, and Van for actively participating. And I want to challenge each of you, take one great idea that you heard on this call, go out and put it into practice and come back next Thursday and share your results with the group. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week. Same time next Thursday. See you then. Take care.